Here we are in round 23 of the NRL 2021 season. So, yeah, we're obviously not far from finals now. I mean, the weeks are just coming up to finals, and yeah, we're not far, which is great. But speaking of round 23, though, we've got some pretty big games this weekend. Like, for example, I reckon Friday night, game of the round, in my opinion, between the Rabbitohs and the Panthers. That's going to be an absolute blockbuster, that game, I reckon. That'd be huge. Another big game, I think, as well, will be the Tigers and the Sharks on Saturday, mainly because both teams are fighting for that top 8 sort of spot mathematically, because I think both teams are still mathematically a chance of making it. But whoever loses the game on Saturday will have their 2021 season done and dusted, and it's the same for Sunday's match between the Warriors and the Broncos. Like, whoever loses that game also has their season officially over, but whoever wins that game keeps their season alive just. So, it's going to be very interesting, actually, those sort of two games in particular. But let's get into my tips, yeah? So, the very first game of round 23, it starts at Seabus Super Stadium in the Gold Coast between the Titans and the Storm. Storm been in great form. Storm been absolutely fantastic. I believe this week they're resting Justin Olam and Nico Hines and replacing them. Oh no, not Nico Hines. Jerome Hughes, but Nico Hines is replacing Jerome Hughes at halfback, and Marion Seve replaces who I haven't seen since last year. Marion Seve will replace Justin Olam in the centres. And, for Titans, AJ Brimson's out because of an injury, so Jane Campbell comes in at fullback. But I'm not going to really get into this game too much because I think it's pretty obvious who will win, and it'll be the Storm. Storm will probably slaughter the Titans, to be honest. So I'll go scoreline of 42 points to 16. I just believe that it'll be a big win for the Storm on Thursday night. 6 p.m, Raiders and the Sea Eagles at Suncorp Stadium. My team up against Canberra. Now, the last time these two teams played, obviously Raiders got the win, but to be fair, Manly had quite a bit out. So, obviously Raiders beat us last time, so I guess Manly should be determined to get one back in them. So, for the Raiders this week, we've got Charnson Clockstad back on the bench. CNK, Charnson Clockstad. He will be in the jersey 14 role off the bench, so we'll see how he goes during the game. For Manly, Toff Sipley and Moses Sully both come in. For Manly, mainly because Brad Parker got a concussion against the Eels last week, so Sully comes in and replaces him, while Sipley replaces the Lewis off the bench from suspension. And Tom's playing, so look, I think Manly will win. I believe Manly will be a little bit too good for the Raiders on Friday night. I think, obviously Manly will want that top 4 spot, and I think we'll keep playing really well to try and secure that sort of spot. So yeah, I reckon we'll beat Canberra by a scoreline of 26 points to 14. Now, the main game, the big game, like I was saying, the Panthers and the Rabbitohs at Suncorp Stadium in Brisbane. Both teams have been red-hot form. Like, both teams have been winning games most recently, and both teams have been, in incredible form. I think Souths won 10 games in a row, while Panthers won about 3 or something in a row, I'm pretty sure. But, both teams, put it this way, both teams have been in great form, and I think, this will be a really tough game to tip. But this week for the Panthers, Abby Coruscant returns from suspension, which means Mitch Kenny, who was starting hooker whilst Coruscant was out, will move to the bench now. And for South, it looks like Braden Burns and Jack Tapua both drop out, and replacing them in the team, it is Alex Johnson and Gagai who both come in. In this game, look, it's tough. I think this can go either way, but I will tip Panthers. I wouldn't be surprised if Souths win, but I will tip Panthers purely because I think with the addition of Coruscant, it'll be huge for the team, and I think I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if I was wrong, but I will tip Panthers, but we'll see on Friday night. Big game either way, though. Super Saturday, the first game of 3 at Rockhampton in Brown Park. Tigers and the Sharks. Both teams obviously playing for their seasons pretty much. I mean, like I said, one team loses, their season is officially done. But if one team wins, they're mathematically still a chance to secure a top 8 spot. But for Tigers this week, looks like James Roberts will return for the Tigers off the bench in jersey 17. And for the Sharks, it looks like that players like Brandon Hamlin-Uele will shift to the bench this week, and Toby Rudolph will start a prop. But pretty much not much changes. In this game, I will tip the Sharks because I trust them a bit more, and I feel like Sharks are a team that I believe will do better than the Tigers on the day. I mean, look, I wouldn't be surprised if Tigers go well, and I wouldn't be surprised if Tigers do turn up, but I just trust Sharks a bit more. I think Sharks got what it takes, and I think there's will to be better on the day. But yeah, guys, I think they'll win 20 points to 12 by 8 points. Second game of Super Saturday, it's the Bulldogs and Knights at 5:30 p.m. at Seabus Super Stadium. Ins and outs for the... Oh, no, actually, before I start the ins and outs, obviously Bulldogs last week against the Warriors, when they lost that game to the Warriors, it means it was official. The Bulldogs were the 2021 NRL Vidz Spooners, so yeah, that's confirmed now, and they've got nothing to play for the rest of the season, obviously. And for the Knights, it looks like, they beat the Sharks in a much important game to kind of help themselves secure a top 8 spot even more. And yeah, they beat the Sharks 16-14 by 2 points on Sunday Arvo footy. And yeah, I believe, they'll be a bit too good for the Bulldogs, or it should be way too good for the Bulldogs on Saturday. So I'll tip Knights in a big one, 36 points to 16. Now, the last game of Super Saturday, it's the Eels and the Cowboys at Seabus Super Stadium in the Gold Coast. Both teams both teams are in terrible form. Obviously, Parramatta have lost their past 4 games, while Cowboys are just struggling and they haven't really found their mojo as yet. This week Eels have dropped a couple of players. They've dropped Tom Opachik and replacing Tom Opachik in the centres. It's Will Pinasini, who I thought was pretty good in his debut against Canberra a couple of weeks ago. Ryan Madison's out because of suspension, obviously, and Michael Oldfield's also been dropped after 1 game with the club, and he gets replaced by Hayes Dunster. And, with Cowboys, I mean, Jason Tamalolo and Hamiso Tabuai-Fidow have been named in reserve, so that's big if they do play. If they do play, I think Cowboys will win, but if they don't, I reckon Parramatta will win. But I will predict they will play, so I'll tip the Cowboys to win. Probably by 6 points, not by much, but I do believe Cowboys, they don't really have much. The Cowboys don't have much to play for anymore, to be honest, because the year's already over. But and I think on the day the Cowboys will be desperate to break their losing streak, and I think they will win. So I'll probably tip them by 6 points. Now Sunday footy at 2 p.m. It's the first game of 2. It starts at Cliff Berghofer Stadium in Toowoomba, so it's between the Dragons and the Roosters. Ins and outs for the Dragons. Well, Jared Beale and Blake Laurie and Andrew McCulloch are all out because of injury and suspension. And and Dragons, obviously their year's over. They lose this game as well. And for the Roosters, Roosters are obviously trying to hold out Manly for the top 4 spot. And so they'll be pretty desperate to kind of get this win as well. In this game, enough said. I think Roosters will win easy, to be honest. I think they'll probably smash the Dragons, to be fair. So probably by about 18 points. So they'll probably win. I reckon maybe like a scoreline of 24 points to 28 to 16, 24, 14. One of those scorelines I reckon on the day. And now the last game around 23 to end it all off at Suncorp Stadium. It's the Broncos and the Warriors at Suncorp Stadium. Obviously Broncos, their year's over, so they obviously want to try and end this year on a high note. While the Warriors have won their past 3 games, and they're obviously still a small chance, pretty much, to make the top 8. For the Broncos, it looks like Tyson Gamble's out with suspension this week, so he gets replaced by Anthony Milford. And with Warriors, to my understanding, they don't really have much changes after last week's win against the Bulldogs. But, in this game, I will tip the Warriors to win. I believe they'll be a bit too good. I think Warriors, I like their team this week. I think it looks a bit stronger than the Broncos, no disrespect. But, yeah, I'll probably tip them in a win. I think they'll win 20 points to 10 by 10 points. So, yeah, I reckon they'll be a better team on the day. But, guys, that's my round 23 tips for the NRL 2021 season. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in another video.